This is IGN. Double Fine's surreal puzzle platformer is a feast for the senses. This is your IGN review of Keeper by Sarah Thwaites. When contemplating the essence of a lighthouse, as one so often does, you might think of words like stoic, isolated, or purposeful. But have you ever thought of them as adorable, quirky, or perhaps even charming? Keeper, the atmospheric puzzle platformer from developer Double Fine, cleverly reimagines the often forgotten seaboard structure, reframing it as a lovably sentient scout on a journey through a living world. Blending a kaleidoscopic art style with nostalgic adventure game mechanics, Keeper hides an emotional story underneath all of its visual pizzazz, delivering a brain-tickling odyssey that stuck with me far beyond the credits. After being separated from its flock while evading a flood of evil bat-like creatures, a seabird named Twig is drawn towards a dormant lighthouse that sits on the outskirts of a mythic island. Stagnant and alone, the unexpected visitor awakens the slumbering lighthouse, causing it to shoot out a beam of warming light and scare away the evil swarm. Keeper's story is built around the soul-stirring relationship that evolves between this unlikely duo as they fight the island's eerie infection, navigate its curious biomes, and attempt to climb its possessed, claw-like peak. Despite there not being a single line of dialogue across Keeper's approximately 6-hour runtime, I found myself wholly invested in their plight, a testament to how dynamic the pair felt in motion. It also helps that Keeper is one of the most visually interesting games I've ever played. The island's topography is wavy and confusing like an ant farm, with the towering summit somehow sitting at the edge of most frames, teasing you with its proximity. Every nook and cranny of its surreal, painterly world hides vast wells of depth, with craggy coral, forgotten cave structures, and vibrant, twisting vines intersecting like details in a Where's Wally book. The use of fixed camera angles in Keeper is particularly inspired and evokes a cinematic atmosphere once cultivated by games like Grim Fandango and Silent Hill. Keeper doesn't explicitly explain the lore behind its mythical post-apocalyptic setting, instead relying on visual clues like crumpled houses and rewilded cityscapes to create a sense of danger and scale. It's helpful that the environments you saunter through blend seamlessly together, too, with a change in the orchestration and color palette alerting you to a new area or checkpoint more often than a loading screen. This HUD-less approach better allows you to lose yourself in Keeper's spectacular landscapes, increasing your investment in the twosome and encouraging you to play around with your powers and discover tidbits of lore littered throughout. While your base skills remain largely the same throughout the story, the world changes in a way that keeps things fresh. For example, your humble torch can eventually activate strange monuments that twist time forwards and backwards, briefly turning Twig into a ghost that can fly through walls or rotate cogs, or an egg that can weigh down pressure plates. Who says you can't teach an old building new tricks? I've always considered Double Fine the Willy Wonka of game developers, and Keeper feels like a prime example of why. It walks and talks like a fairly digestible adventure game, but there's also a sense of experimentation and whimsy that makes it hard to put into any one box. Caught somewhere between the 3-course dinner chewing gum and a Ratatouille flashback, Keeper flooded my senses, leaving me open to contemplate its world as a standalone creation, as well as a mirror of my own. A surreal painting come to life, Keeper is a stunning puzzle game that carefully balances its Moorish mechanics with a heartfelt story. Its levels are teeming with life to interact with and interesting objects to oogle, with each scene framed by a percussive driving score. The leading duo might not speak, but well-executed animations and a soundboard of affecting chirps and creaks imbue them with a spirit that grows on you fast. Adorable in premise, Keeper is a psychedelic exploration of life packed into a brief runtime that's well worth experiencing at least once in your lifetime. Keeper's IGN score? 9 out of 10. Thanks for listening to IGN. My name is Tony Jackson, and for the latest updates on Keeper, visit us at IGN.com.
Spoken Layer.